Hey there guys, it's Tina and I am back and I have a swatch party for you guys because I received my pre-order. No, it wasn't a pre-order, was it? I received my order from Clionadh Cosmetics. I also have a pre-order for April that is still pending. I don't know when I will receive that. I was gonna wait it out, but then I was like, why wait it out? Let's go ahead and swatch what I have now because I do have the majority of the shadows anyway, and I'm really excited to share them with you guys. Originally, when I made my first order, I was kind of peeved because I had to wait a long time for my order to actually get to me. I think it took over a month and a half, and I'll admit that it kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth, and I was like, ugh, like, are these really that great? Are they worth the wait? And initially I was like, nah, whatever, I don't care. And then I actually used them and I was like, oh my god, I need to get every single one of these shades, and that was kind of what I went ahead and did. They actually had a sale because they wanted to show their appreciation and honor a discount sale that wasn't necessarily for the holidays but was after the holidays when things had settled down. So I made a huge order and I got it in, and I am so excited to share it with you guys. So these shadows are from their stained glass collection, which is their most popular collection, and it's a massive collection. It is permanent, so you don't have to worry about it being limited edition and not available if you wanted to pick it up later on. And there are multiple formulations in this collection. So you have really bold, intense, jeweled multichromes. The majority of the shades are multichromes or duochromes, so you're gonna see shade shifts, but they vary in intensity from really bold, intense shades to more subdued topper shades. So depending on what you're into, there might be something here for you in this collection. Now I have a ton of these eyeshadows to swatch, so this video is gonna be extremely long. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and leave timestamps down below each portion of the video that you can find where I swatch certain shades, and I'm gonna organize them by the formulation so you can jump ahead as you please to whichever portion of the video that you want to see. And of course you can use this video for future reference, so you can always come back and see the different shades if you want to go ahead and make an order of your own. So without much further fanfare, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the swatches, and I'll preempt this by saying that we are swatching with our fingers today because with this collection they're a different kind of formulation, that they're not your typical eyeshadows, so there's a little bit of a learning curve, and one of the recommendations is to apply these with your fingers for the best color payoff and kind of the best overall application of these eyeshadows. So that's what we're gonna do, swatch them with our fingers so you can get an idea of how these look. And I am swatching over a very light layer of primer as well, because you know we need a little primer on our skin because I'm swatching them on my forearms. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the swatches. Let's go ahead and start out with the Glitter Multichromes. These are pressed, plastic-free, mica-based glitter shadows, and as such they melt into the skin. These have varying levels of opacity in the base color and varying sizes of glitter particles. They're safe to use on the eyes and some on the lips. Here we have the shade Glacier's Mark. It has a sheer orange base with medium glitter particles that shift from indigo, violet, pink, and orange. This is a sheer pinky purple color with blue iridescence. I don't really see the other colors that they mentioned, to be honest. I'm trying to like rotate my arm to see it. I don't see it from my angle and I don't see it in the camera. I just see purple with some pink and blue glitter, that's it. Then we have the shade Torch. This one has a pigmented copper base with medium glitter particles that shift from red, orange, and gold. This one, I can see more colors to it. So I see the rosy pink, and then I see the orange glitter, and I see a bit of gold as well. And this one has more pigmentation than the first one. Then we have Engraved. This one is a sheer peach base with glitter particles that shift from lilac, pink, orange, and gold. This one to me is heavily pink. I can see the lilac in it and the rosy shades. I don't see any orange and gold really, but again, that's just in the reflect. Maybe it's very light, but I mostly just see pink and gold here. So here we have the shade Blaze, which is a sheer orange base with glitters that shift peach, gold, and lime. Oh my god, this one is gorgeous. So it has like a coppery peach glitter to it, but as you can see, it shifts pink as well. And there's just a light hint of that green. It's not really like an intense green, it's more like that tarnished gold. This one is gorgeous, I love it. Then here we have Grisaille. This one is a semi-pigmented terracotta base, and the glitter particles shift from turquoise, indigo, violet, and pink. This one reminds me of like a blue-brown pigment. It has that reddish pink base with that blue glitter to it. I don't really see much of the other colors. So it says they're supposed to be turquoise, indigo, violet, and pink. I mainly see, I guess I see a little bit of turquoise, like that little blue shift, but that to me is just blue, and then I have that pink red base. I don't really see the other shades in this one, but it's really beautiful, and the glitter particles are a little bit chunkier, so it gives a lot of sparkle. So here we have Foilin. This one has a pigmented warm gold base with medium and large glitter particles, and it shifts gold, orange, and lime. This one definitely has like a very pigmented look to it, and I can see the warm gold, like a yellow gold. I can see the lime green, and I can even see the orange in this one. So this one is like a perfect description. It's really beautiful, really sparkly, and it does have that larger glitter feel to it. It's not chunky at all, but it has like denser glitter particles. Here we have Corrosion, which is a semi-sheer orange base. This one has medium glitter that shifts lime, turquoise, and blue. I definitely see the orange in this and the lime and a touch of that turquoise. Like you can see the blue when I turn my arm, but it's not really intense. It's mostly like that lime green and that yellow gold and that orange that you can see, but it's a sheer orange. That one has like fine glitter as well. Here we have Ornamental. This one has a semi-sheer lime base, and it has small glitter particles that shift yellow gold, lime, and turquoise. This one is really smooth, so it has smaller glitter particles. It feels almost like a shimmer shade, and it has a strong like yellow gold base. I don't really see too much of the turquoise, but I definitely see the lime, which makes it a little bit more green. And it is definitely more of a yellow gold reflect as well. I don't really see too much turquoise unless you shift it a lot, and you'll see a hint of blue. So here we have Chandelier, which has a sheer mustard yellow base, and this one also has small glitter particles, and it shifts turquoise, indigo, violet, and pink. This one is also very finely milled, so again, it feels like a regular shimmer shadow. It's a little bit more sheer, but you can see the lime green, the turquoise, the pink. You can definitely see the reflex in this one, and I really, really love how it looks on my skin. So here we have the first set of shades, and these are just a glitter formula. So it has like ultra fine glitter in a sheer kind of base. Some are more pigmented than others, some are more densely packed with glitter than others, and some have larger glitter particles, just from the descriptions that I read to you. The ones that I'm really in love with would be Blaze, which is this one. It's just so gorgeous and multi-dimensional, and I also love Foilin because it has that heavier glitter. So this one has the larger glitter particles, so it's really chunky. It's really reflective and beautiful. I think my least favorite would be this one, which is Glacier's Mark. It's just a little bit too sheer, and I don't really love purples that much. But the other shades, even Grisaille, I do like as well. That also has larger glitter particles. Those are really beautiful. But overall, it just depends on what you're into, what finish are you going for, and what reflect do you want. Here we have Translucency, which has a sheer baby pink base, and it has small glitter particles that shift blue, indigo, violet, and pink. So this one is like a powder pastel pink. It's very beautiful, and it has that violet glitter. I see some gold glitter as well as blue. It has a sheer payoff and the glitter particles are very fine. Here we have Sunbeam. This one also has a sheer pink base, but it has medium glitter particles and it shifts orange, gold, lime, and turquoise. This one has a strong yellow gold reflect to it. That lime is showing up as well, so you see that green. It also has that pink reflect when you shift it into the light. Very beautiful. It's definitely different from the translucency shade that is stronger pink. This one to me has like stronger lime and gold reflex. Then we have Embossed. This one has a semi-pigmented salmon base with medium glitter particles. And this one shifts lime, turquoise, and blue. This one to me has more of a medium pink base and it definitely shifts lime. There's a hint of turquoise in there. You can see a little teal. I don't see too much of a blue. Okay, I see a little bit of blue, but to me that's more of the turquoise coming through. And this one is also a very sheer base. Here we have Spotlight, which has a semi-sheer hot pink base, has large glitter particles, and this shifts blue, indigo, and pink. This one definitely has a more intense, more bold pink base, and it has reflex of that purple and blue and chunky pink. This one has larger glitter particles, and if you're into pinks, this one's probably a really beautiful one for you. Then here we have Glaze. This one is a sheer purple base. It has large glitter particles as well, and it shifts pink, orange, and gold. This one to me looks like a very light lavender purple, and then it has more pastel purple reflex to it, and that orangey, peachy gold. This one is a little bit more pigmented. Even though it has chunkier glitter, it applies very smooth. Then we have Tracery. This has a sheer lilac base with large glitter particles, and it shifts indigo, violet, pink, orange, and gold. This one to me is like a bright medium purple. It doesn't look too lavender, and it has a pink shimmer to it. I don't see the multichrome that was described. I see a hint of blue, but I don't see like the orange gold as strongly. I mainly see pink and purple with a touch of blue reflect. This one is very smooth as well, even though it has chunkier particles. Here we have the shade Stencil. This one has a pigmented purple base with medium glitter particles, and it shifts violet, pink, orange, and gold. This one definitely has a strong purple base. It's more like a blue tone purple, and it has pink reflex. You can see some blue to it. I don't really see the orange gold again, but I see the pink and the purple. Here we have Enamel. This one has a semi-sheer periwinkle base, has small glitter particles, and it shifts blue, indigo, violet, and pink. This one is a light lavender base. It has that pinky reflect and some blue as well. I definitely see the purple, the pink, and the blue in this shade. It's a little bit more of a lighter reflect though. It's not really intense. And we have the shade Carven. This one has a sheer grungy light brown base. It has small glitter particles, and it shifts turquoise, indigo, violet, and pink. This one is beautiful. It's kind of one of those green blue pigments or blue brown pigments. It has a reddened light brown base with green glitter to it. I definitely see hints of blue, hints of lime. I don't really see too much indigo, like there's not too much blue to it, but I see more like a tealy green turquoise shift. I like that one as well. It's really pretty and it's finely milled. Here we have the shade Ciel. This one has a semi-pigmented blue base with large glitter particles, and it shifts gold, green, and blue. This one has like powder blue glitter with lime green and gold glitter mixed in. Interesting shade. It's a little bit chunkier because of the larger glitter particles, but it's really beautiful and it's brighter than the other shades, like in that blue reflect. And then we have Ripple. This one has a sheer aqua base with large glitter particles, and this shifts turquoise, indigo, and violet. This one has like pale mint green shimmer, light blue shimmer, and a little bit of that pinky hue. I don't see too much violet, maybe a hint, but not too much. It's more like a rosy pink, and the glitter is a little bit more finely milled. So here's a look at those shades. These are a lighter color base, of course. They're more on the pastel side. There are a lot of pinks, a lot of purples here. Not my favorite like color story at all. Like these wouldn't be my go-to shades, but they for sure will still give you a beautiful look to the eyes. If you're into these shades, you're sure to find one that you love here. My favorite ones would probably be Glazed, which I think is really gorgeous, and then Craven, which I also like quite a lot. The other shades, they're nice, but they're not like blowing me away. But again, that's just based on my personal tastes. Then we have the Iridescent Multichromes, and there are a couple of subcategories under this heading. These shadows appear white or muted in the pan, but have intense color shift and reflex. They have a nearly transparent base, so they work great for all skin tones. They're multi-purpose and can be used on the eyes, lips, face, and body. Here we have Series 1. Here we have Ambient, which shifts silver, pink, peach, lime, and turquoise. This one has like a subdued, dirty silver base to it, and it has pink and peachy reflex. I don't really see like the turquoise or the lime so much. Okay, the lime, a little hint of it. There's a slight tint of green, but I don't see turquoise. No, I don't see it. Here we have Luminaire. This one shifts red, orange, and gold. This one is a beautiful peachy pink with a hint of gold reflect to it. Then here we have Flicker. This one has reflex of orange, peach, and gold. This one is very, very smooth. It has a coppery orange reflect to it. There's a hint, just a tiny hint of pink and gold. Here we have Candela, which shifts gold, lime, and turquoise. This one is a beautiful yellow gold with that lime reflect. I don't really see too much of the turquoise. It's a very slight hint of like a blue, but that one is really intense. It almost glows. It's so beautiful. Then here we have Illumination. This one shifts lime, turquoise, and blue. This one is also that yellow gold, that lime green, like that bright green, and a bit of blue to it. I see the blue stronger in this one than the Candela shade. So if you wanted more blue, I would go for Illumination. Then we have Reflectance. This one shifts green, turquoise, blue, violet, and pink. This one is definitely beautiful. You can see the green in this. You can see more pink, some purple, a little bit of that turquoise. You see the lime, you see the gold. That one is definitely more multi-reflective than the other two shades. Here we have the shade Ombre. This one shifts blue, indigo, violet, and pink. This one is almost like a neon reflect of pink and purple, and you see the hints of blue as well. It's very intense. It almost glows on the skin like it's under black light. Then we have Glare. This one shifts turquoise, blue, and violet. This one has a drier, chunkier feel to it, and it looks like a light silver with blue reflex and hints of purple or pink. So here you have the Series 1 of the Iridescent Multichromes. These are very lightweight pigments. They feel very finely milled. They almost feel like a baked formula, except for the last one that feels a little bit chunky to the touch. But my favorite shades for these would be Flicker, which is this beautiful like peachy gold. I love the shade Candela as well. That one is really bold and neon, and I also love the shade Ombre. I mean, look at that. It looks like it's glowing on the skin. I really like these. But again, choosing these shades are going to be based on what you're looking for. If you're looking for stronger pink silvers, a peach, which one of these greeny golds are you into? And then down here, honestly, I would choose the Ombre shade over this shade. But here you have all of them. You can see the different reflex as I tilt my arm. Moving on to Series 2 of the Iridescent Multichromes. These are the most intense and reflective transforming shadows that are provided by Clionadh. They have a very thin formula that melts into the skin, making them ideal for highlighting. They also work extremely well over other eyeshadows to transform them into a multichrome. The first shade up is Ray. This one shifts pink, red, orange, gold, and lime. This one is really beautiful. The red, the orange, the pink, the green, the gold. You can definitely see the different shifts of color in this one. Then we have Halo. This one shifts hot orange, peach, gold, and lime. This one you can definitely see that bright orangey, almost coppery reflect. You have the gold and a hint of green as well. You see the pink. The lime is a little bit less pronounced, but you can definitely see like the orangey, gold, and pink reflex. Then we have chromatic. This one shifts peach, gold, lime, and has a slight gold sparkle. This one is really beautiful and intense as well, but it has more of a sheer look to it, but the glitter is intense. Again, it has that yellow gold, you have a shift of green, you have peach and pink. Really gorgeous, but again, a little bit more sheer, like a little bit more translucent than the halo shade. Now here we have Luxe. This one shifts yellow, lime, turquoise, and violet, and it has a slightly more glittery finish. This one has a bright yellow green shift to it, like the bright lime, the bright yellow gold. It is absolutely beautiful, and it has a little bit, I don't know if you can see the pink, and a little bit of blue as well. That turquoise is coming through. This is really beautiful. I don't see, well, I guess I see a little bit of the violet, which is that pinky shift, but it's not like a pronounced violet. It's more like a pink. That's gorgeous. Then we have Phosphorescent. This one shifts lime, turquoise, violet, and red. This one is definitely like a more sheer glitter. You definitely see the lime in this. You see some pink. I barely see any other shades. It says there's some turquoise, some violet. I see a little bit of turquoise, like a little hint of blue and a little bit of purple, but it's not too intense. Then we have the shade Flores. This one shifts turquoise, blue, violet, and pink. This one is almost like a pale lavender with blue, like an aqua blue reflect, and it has pink and a hint of a lime green as well. It says there's turquoise, blue, violet, and pink. I see the pink, I see a hint of the blue that gives that turquoise look, and a little bit of purple, which comes off more pink. So this one is also finely milled, but it has a little bit more opacity to it than the previous shade. Then we have the shade UV, which reflects violet and peach. This one definitely does look like it would glow under a UV light. It's pink and purple, and I don't even see, maybe there's a little bit of peach, but not too much. And it's very thin, like it's sheer. It's not very pigmented. And then we have the shade Aura. This one shifts pink, red, orange, gold, and lime. This one is very shiny. It reflects pink. I see a little bit of peach, a hint of green, a lot of gold. It's really beautiful, really reflective, and it has more glitter to it. It's definitely not a sheer shade at all. So here you have a look at all of these shades, and you can see that they're definitely different from each other. They have different undertones, even though they seem very similar. For me, my favorite shades jumping out right out the gate is Luxe. This is so bold and bright and intense and very shiny. I also love Aura, which is more shimmery as well. But another shade that I like is Ray. It's a beautiful dual chrome pinky peach. It's more intense than Halo. Definitely gorgeous. Chromatic is a little bit more sheer, so I wouldn't go for that one. But you can see they're different undertones, different shifts. These are definitely gorgeous as well, but it depends on like what colors are you into. Then we have the Iridescent Glitter Multichromes, which are considered just the glitter type version of the Iridescent Multichromes. So they are the same formula, only with more glitter infused. This shade is Gleam. It reflects pink, orange, and yellow. This is a sheer iridescent glitter. I see reflex of like pink and a peach and light gold. It's very subtle though. You barely see the shifts. They're not very strong. This is the shade Glisten, which reflects violet, pink, orange, and gold. This one is a little bit more chunky with reflex of pink. I see a little hint of gold and a bit of purple, but again, very, very light pigmentation, very light color. Then we have the shade Glimmer. This one reflects blue, indigo, and violet. This one is a pinky purple with blue reflex. Then we have the shade Gilden. This one reflects bright gold, silver, yellow, mint green, and turquoise. This is a little smoother than the other three, and it's bright in your face. It's like a bright yellow gold with that green minty reflect, and it has a little hint of like a blue, so that's where the turquoise comes in. and it definitely has bright gold to it. I don't see too much silver. Well, I guess I see a little silver as you tilt it. This is gorgeous, really intense. So here are those 4 shades. Out of the 4 shades, the only one that I'm in love with is Gildan. It's so beautiful, but you would use these as toppers. They wouldn't necessarily be standalone shades. They would be shades to accent any eye look. But Gildan to me is like the most interesting shade. It's so bold, bright, neon, in your face, gorgeous. But the other colors too can be used as glitter toppers. They're a little chunkier, so you do have to kind of press them and blend them out to get rid of that white chunkiness that you see. That's the base color that is a little bit more chunky and a little harder to blend out to get the true glitter reflex. Moving on to the Pastel Multichromes. These are soft pastelized versions of the jeweled Multichromes. These have a soft sheer gray base with bright metallic colored reflex. They're also glitter free and are great for those who might not want the full intensity of the jeweled Multichromes. This first shade up is Turret. It's described as a pink pastel base which shifts a lilac, pink, orange, and gold. This looks like a light purple with a pink shift to it. If you move it in certain lights, you'll see a little touch, just a slight touch of that orange, which comes off more like a peach. Then we have Cathedral, which is described as a yellow pastel base that shifts orange, gold, and lime. This one looks like a tarnished silver with a pink shift. And then as you move it around, you can see some olive tones, but I don't really see much gold or orange. Then we have Keystone, which is described as a green pastel base and it shifts blue, green, and indigo. This one is a pastel green, as you can see. It shifts slightly blue, like a lighter blue, and then a little bit deeper. But this one you can see more of the shift, but it's not as intense. Then we have Tower, which is described as a blue pastel base and it shifts teal, blue, indigo, and violet. This one is a light teal blue with a purple shift. And you can definitely see the shift in the swatch. So here you have the 4 shades of the Pastel Multichromes. So these apply a little bit more like a shimmer eyeshadow, regular frosty eyeshadow. And these shift a little bit more than a duochrome would, but they have a similar feel and similar vibe. They just have different shifts depending on how you see them in the light. Then we have the deep iridescent multichromes. This refers to the depth of the base tone. At Clionadh, they want to create products that are as inclusive as possible, and while the regular white base iridescent shadows look beautiful on so many skin tones, they realize that no matter how transparent the base is, they can leave a white cast if they're built up too much. As such, Clionadh created 5 shades that sport a tanned base, making them ideal for medium to deep skin tones. The first shade up is Vermilion. This is described as a pink gold shifter with a tan base. This one is a beautiful pink gold shift, and you can definitely see the strong shifts of both shades. Absolutely gorgeous. Here we have Burnt Sienna, which is described as a red, orange, gold shifter with a tan base. This one is a beautiful, like coppery orange with a fiery red undertone. It's really beautiful. Then here we have Ochre, which is described as an orange gold shifter with a tan base. This one is like a bright gold that shifts green. I don't really see an orange to it, but this one is definitely more like an old gold. Oh, there you see the orange a little bit, but it's a strong, like old vintage gold with that green shift as well. And here we have Verte, which is described as an emerald turquoise purple shifter with a tan base. This one has more of a triple shift. You can see that purple shift to it, and then the green as well as that teal. This one is definitely gorgeous. It's not a strong emerald at certain angles. You see more of the purpley bluey duochrome, but in this swatch you can see all 3 shades. And then last up we have Azure, which is described as a teal blue purple shifter with a tan base. Here you can see the purple and the blue and like more of a silvery teal. You can definitely see the shifts there. So here you have all 5 of the deep iridescent multichromes. You can definitely see the strong shifts in these, and these are definitely beautiful. They have strong differences in the shades, as you can see. So here you can see the pastel multichromes versus the deep iridescent multichromes, and you can tell that there are differences in the color payoff and the shift. The pastels are definitely more subdued, definitely more like a traditional shimmer eyeshadow, and then the deep iridescent multichromes definitely have a stronger color payoff, stronger pop to them, and more of an intense shift of color, as you can see when I shift my arm. But these are all beautiful. Now for the jewels of the collection, pun intended, these are the jeweled multichromes. These are finely milled, ultra rich pigments. They have a black base and intense color shift in reflex. They're packed with a high pigment concentration, so the end result is a saturated, vibrantly shifting shadow. Alright, let's start with the shade Gothic, and this shifts violet, pink, red, orange, and gold. This is a very intense, multi-dimensional shade. It's so bold, pigmented, vibrant. You see the purple, you see the violet, you see the gold, you see the pink, you see the red, you see the orange. I mean, you see all the shades. Come on. Look at this. It's absolutely stunning. I love this shade. Then we have the shade Smolder. This is one that shifts pink, red, orange, gold, lime, and emerald. So this is very vibrant. This one is intense as well. This one has more of a intense, I would call it like a pink purple, and then it shifts that dark green that looks emerald as you turn it away from the light. Then you have the gold reflect as well, and I can also see like an orange shift and some red to this. Beautiful. Then we have the shade Forge, which shifts rose, orange, gold, lime, and teal. Here you can see that beautiful green, you see gold, you see that orangey peachy pink, and then they also say there's a rose. Okay, so I'll buy it that's more of a rosy pink right there. You see the green at the edges when it shifts. You see the gold, and I think this is so beautiful. I don't know what lime they mean. Does the lime mean like a brighter green? I guess so. Beautiful. I love this shade. Then we have the shade Sandblast. This one shifts orange, gold, and lime. So just the trichrome here. This one has like a bright orangey copper feel to it. A little bit of that rosy pink, and then a tint of green. The green isn't as intense unless you shift it away from the light. Beautiful, but it's just 3 colors versus like a multitude of colors. Then here we have the shade Burnish. This is described as a saturated orange gold that shifts yellow lime. This one has a strong green gold shift to it, and then you have that orange as well. Then here we have the shade Vermeil. This is described as a bright warm gold that shifts yellow lime green, and it says the base is not quite as dark as the other jeweled multichromes. So this one has a more subtle shift to it. You definitely still see the green, you see that yellow gold, and a little hint of like a lime, so a lighter green, but it's not as intense as the other shades. Here we have the shade Weathered. This shifts yellow gold, moss green, mint, and silver. This one to me has more of a strong glossy green shift to it. So it's like that high shine lime green with a bit of yellow gold and a little bit of like an orange, but I don't see any of the silver in it. I guess I can see a little bit of the mint because of that green, but I don't see any silver shift. Then we have the shade Patina. This one shifts gold, lime, emerald, and turquoise. That one has that brighter emerald green to it, and you definitely see the gold as well. I see a little bit of the lime because it's a sharper green, and I don't see too much turquoise though. Like turquoise should be, okay, there we go. We see a little hint of deep blue to it. Really beautiful. Here we have the shade Flame Blown, which shifts indigo, violet, pink, red, orange, gold, and lime. So a lot going on here. This one I mainly see like a red base purple that shifts into a blue base purple. So it's like a red, a blue, a purple, I don't see the other shifts that it's saying here, but who am I, you know? It says there should be orange, gold, and lime. I don't see the lime. I see the gold. Okay, maybe you can see a little bit of green there, but I see the gold. I see the violet. I definitely see the blue, which is kind of indigo, I guess. And then I guess you can toss in red and orange because, I mean, it makes up that color anyway, right? Then we have the shade Spire. This one shifts royal blue, violet, red, and orange. I definitely already see the blue. So this one is like a rich violet blue. I love this color so much. It's so intense. I guess you can say there's a little bit of red to it and a little bit of orange, but I don't really see those intensely. I mainly see like the deep purple and the blue. Gorgeous shade. And then we have Rosette. This shifts indigo, violet, red, orange, and gold. This one is beautiful from what I can see. It's like a bright red, purple. It's definitely gorgeous. You see that blue shift to it. I wonder if you can see the red shift. It's a lot brighter and more vivid than the Flame Blown shade. It's very intense. So if you're looking for an intense like red, purple, violet, blue shift, I think that one is more intense and beautiful. All right, so here we have the first set of shades from the Jeweled Multichromes. They're really intense, they're really vibrant, really beautiful, and they shift a multitude of colors. Some of them are a little bit more subdued, some have more shifts to them, and as you can see, some of them are very, very similar. So it depends on what look you are going for. If you're going for more blue, you would choose the more blue shade. If you're going for more purple, you choose more purple. The green shades, if you're going for a richer, more vibrant emerald versus like a more subdued orangey green. And then the pinks and the reds, as you can see, there are different shifts of color to these. They're all definitely very unique. They're different. Even though they look so similar in the pans, they're very different when swatched because they have a stronger base shade and then the shifts are slightly different for each. Next up we have the shade Lunette. This shifts blue, indigo, violet, and pink. This one is a beautiful, rich, like royal blue with a purple shift. For me, the blue, indigo, violet, pink almost just melt into blue and purple. So it's just a beautiful, intense, really vivid violet blue shade. Then we have Crown Glass. This shifts teal, indigo, pink, red, and gold. And with this one, I can see the blue, the purple, and the teal green shift. And you can even see a little bit of that gold shift, but the gold is very subtle. The intense shades would be that purple, that red purple, that violet purple with that blue and that green. And then here we have Castle, which shifts teal, blue, and indigo. This one is a little bit more subtle. It has a blue, green, teal shift. It's stunning. You definitely see that strong teal to it, but it has that subtle blue. It's not like an indigo blue. It's more like a subtle blue shift. Then here we have the shade Oculus, which shifts turquoise, blue, violet, pink, red, orange, and gold. That's a lot. This one I definitely see the turquoise, which is that teal, and then I see blue and that purple, but I don't really see the red, orange, and gold too much. That's a little bit more subtle. It's almost like the very last shifts you'll see, but that's a very rich, intense shade as well. Then we have the shade Anil. This one shifts emerald, turquoise, blue, indigo, violet. This one looks a little bit more blue-purple from my angle, but you'll see the teal shift. You'll see that blue and that purple as well. The blue is a little deeper, that's why it's the indigo. It's a little bit more subtle than the Oculus shade for sure. Then we have the shade Trefoil. This one shifts lime, emerald, turquoise, and blue. From my angle, you can definitely see the strong, deep emerald green. You'll see more of the lime on the screen, but it definitely has that beautiful blue. Look at that blue that you can see, a slight shift of that blue. It's so gorgeous. It has that turquoise look to it. This is beautiful, and you also see that yellow gold shift. This one is gorgeous. And then we have Gargoyle. This one shifts warm pewter, lime, emerald, turquoise, indigo, and violet. This one is an interesting shade. I definitely see the strong emerald green from my angle. On camera, you can see more of that pewter, that silver pewter. You can see a little hint of the pink. I also see the turquoise and the violet, but it's more of a subtle shade on camera than it is in person. So I'm trying to get the shift so you guys can see. There you go. You can see the indigo, the purple, but the green from my angle is very intense. So here are the remaining shades of the jeweled multichromes. As you can see, these are very similar on camera, but as I shift, you will see that the different multi-dimensional colors are definitely different for each of the shades. I wish you could see it from my angle. Maybe you can see it like that. You see more of the green, a little bit more of the blue in some shades, some of the purple, some of the orangey golds. These are definitely beautiful shades. Again, this is gonna depend on what you're looking for. If you're looking for more of a blue, then you're gonna go with this shade. If you're looking for more of a subtle shade, you might go for this shade. You can see like the shades shift differently as I move them. Some of them look brighter under different lights, and then they look a little bit more subtle. You just have to see these in person to understand the differences. But these are so gorgeous. And then to finish up, we have the hybrid multichromes. These are partway between the jeweled multichrome and glitter multichrome formulas. They behave more like the small, medium particle glitters, but with the tones of the jeweled multichromes. They're buildable to allow for a slight wash of sparkle over the lid or transform in shadows, but can also be packed on for full saturation. Since these don't have a black base, they're more everyday, user-friendly, and great for all ages and skin tones. Embroidery is the darkest shade, but it is still not jeweled multichrome level. This shade is Medieval. This is like a red purple base with blue shimmer and glitter to it, and it has a little bit of a coppery orange reflect as well. This shade is Roseline. Roseline is more of a rosy pink shade, and it has a coppery glittery feel to it as well. Here's Mosaic. Mosaic is like a coppery orange with a yellow gold, like a greeny gold reflect to it. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah. This one is Harris. This one is a beautiful like peachy gold shade with pink reflect, and it also has that bright like greeny yellow gold base as well. This one is Chalice. This one is a bright lime green with yellow gold and some pinky peach glitter as well. This one is Embroidery. This one is a green base, like a green teal with a very light purpley, like a dark purple shift, and a little bit of a blue tint as well. This shade is Tapestry. This one is a purpley blue with a pink glitter to it. So here are those 7 shades of the hybrid multichromes. As you can see, these are more of a sheer base with a very dense amount of glitter. The glitter is ultra fine, not ultra fine, I shouldn't say. It's a very fine glitter, so it's not chunky at all. And you can see the shimmer and shine to them. This is the first layer. What I'm gonna do is build these up so we can see if they can be built up to more opacity. So here are the shades built up a little bit more. As you can see, they're not fully opaque, but they still give a great color payoff, with these 2 shades being the lightest ones. This one definitely is going to give you sheer pigmentation no matter what, but the other shades layer up pretty nicely, and I can see tapping these on the lid and giving that beautiful reflective look without being chunky, just being chef's kiss beautiful. This, yeah, listen, my favorite one out of all of these is probably Mosaic, which is this one. It has that rosy pink duochrome, then it has some green gold, and it also has this coppery peach reflect to it, which is awesome. It's a little bit more intense than Harris, which is kind of the same tone, but it's much lighter. I love that shade. Now the last set of shades I want to share with you guys is from the Koala Charity Trio. This is a set of 3 shades that all the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds will be donated to the Wires Wildlife Rescue and Wildlife Victoria Emergency Funds, which will benefit the wildlife affected by the Australian bushfires. So if you're interested in this trio, it's great to know that the proceeds go towards a great cause. So we have the shade Eucalyptus, which is a vibrant pearl white highlight with reflex of red and green gold sparkles. This one is a very sheer base. It does have that translucent red and green and gold to it, but it's very sheer. You would have to use this as a topper or a highlighter. You can even use this on the face, but it's very sheer. Then we have the shade Gumtree, which is a dark gray based metallic with reflex of red. This one is a beautiful like gunmetal shade with red reflex that are very finely milled. This is stunning. I love this shade so much. That would make a great smoky eye. Then the last shade is Koala, which is a buttery smooth blue tone charcoal matte shade. This one is a stunning gray matte. It's more on the cool side, so it leans a little bit more blue. It's not really warm at all, so it's not going to give you that warm tone look. It's going to just give you this beautiful smoky gray. Oh my god, that's stunning. I love this trio, but the 2 shades I love the most are these 2. But this goes to charity, so I don't mind having this shade. It's sheer, but it still has beautiful reflex to it. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at this. Come on. Alright guys, so you've seen the swatches. You're probably really excited. You're like, oh my god, where can I get these? How can I get my hands on them? How much are they? What is going on? Tell me all the details. So I'm gonna try to do that in kind of a short, concise way. Even though I love to talk, let's see if we can get through this quickly. So I have 5 P's that I like to run through, and the first one happens to be purchasing. Where do you buy these? You can get these at Clionadh Cosmetics online, so it's clionaghcosmetics.com, and it is a Canadian-based website. So these will ship from Canada. They do have international shipping. The products are very popular, and they're always out of stock. One, because they're a small team, so it takes them a longer time to get the products ready, shipped, and packed and sent to you guys. In addition to that, the ingredients, they do have to order these ingredients, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get the raw ingredients. Again, small team, small operation, but these are definitely worth the wait. The initial wait time was 20 business days, so you're talking about 4 weeks, but it has been extended, and obviously with the situation that we're in right now, it can take you a couple of months to get these. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If you order these, they will come a good 2, 3, 4 months later, and you just have to just be prepared to wait that long. They're worth the wait. My first order, I was very annoyed, very pissed off, very peeved, but once I got them and I tried them, I was impressed, and they were indeed worth the wait. Now, the 2 owners, Lee and Maggie, do keep you posted along the way, so you never feel like you're just left out there. Their email updates constantly, and they also have updates on their Instagram, so follow them on their Instagram, but you will receive order updates. Never fear, they keep you posted along the way, where your order stands, what they're doing, how their shipping is being handled. So I was very appreciative of that, because they kept me, I didn't feel like my order fell through the crack at all, and they do respond to you. It may take a little while to respond, but they will respond to you. So, you know, they're small, they're up and coming, they're really popular, they're trying their best, so just be supportive and just be mindful of that. Now, as far as the pricing goes, so like I said, this is a Canadian-based company, so their prices are in Canadian dollars, so you will have to do the conversion for your country, but overall the prices range from 25 Canadian dollars to 10 Canadian dollars, and $25 roughly converts to $17.60, and then for the lower range it's about $7.06 for that 10 Canadian dollars, and they're priced based on the formulation and what goes into making them. So depending on how expensive the ingredients are, obviously that formulation will be more expensive. So the most expensive expensive formulation would be the jeweled multichromes, and those retail for 25 Canadian dollars, which again is $17.60 USD. And then we have the iridescent multichromes, but under that category there are different sub formulations. So we have the series 1 iridescent multichromes, which is 10 Canadian dollars and 50 cents, which is roughly $7.40 USD. And then for series 2, which has a little bit more of the expensive ingredients, that really beautiful mica that makes them really shiny and beautiful, that makes the formulation a little bit more expensive. So those retail for 19 Canadian dollars, which converts to about $13.41 USD. Now under this, they also have the glitter type iridescent multichromes, and they have 3 original shades that retail for $10.50 Canadian, which converts to, again, that's $7.40. But they also have some new shades tossed in, which are more expensive because they're a little bit more shiny, a little bit more glittery, and those are $21, which is the next most expensive formulation, and that converts to about $14.82 USD. And then they also have the deep iridescent multichromes, which is also a more expensive formulation because they have to put more of those deep rich pigments in there. These retail for $20 Canadian, which is roughly $14.11 USD. Now moving on to the glitter multichromes, these are actually the cheapest formulation that you can pick up. These retail for $10 Canadian, which is roughly $7.06 USD. We also have the hybrid multichromes, which is a newer formulation. These are more expensive as well, and these retail for 17 Canadian dollars or 12 USD. They also have the vibrant multichromes, which I didn't swatch in this video because those are on pre-order, so I will swatch those once I get those. Those are also the 17 Canadian dollars or $12 USD. And the final formulation is the pastel multichromes. Those retail for $14 Canadian or $9.88. There are also multiple bundles that are available for sale. So for instance, their jeweled multichromes, you can get all the shades in their set, and that has a set bundle price along with further smaller breakdowns, so you can get smaller bundles for a cheaper price. And then you also have like the different multichromes. So the series 1 multichromes, you have a bundled price for all of those. So if you wanted to pick them up, all the shades, you can get them in bundles, which gives you a little bit of a discounted price. Now with those prices, you also have to factor in the shipping cost, because again, these are coming from Canada. So if you are international, for instance, you're in the US as I am, you're going to have to pay that international shipping cost, which is higher obviously than a domestic rate. So for me, my shipping was a standard $15 for each time I ordered. Now let's move on to the third P, which is packaging. Now when you get these, they will come in these little eyeshadow sleeves that says Clionadh Cosmetics on there, and the net weight is 1.5 grams or 0.053 ounces. I think this is standard across all the formulations because the packaging is the same for all the formulations, and the pans that you get them in are these little rectangular magnetic pans, and on the back of these pans you do have the label with the size and information again, the logo, and the name of the shades. Now these pans are very basic, very simple packaging. Even the label is just a regular printer label. There's nothing fancy to them at all. Everything that's fancy about them is in the formulation itself. These pans actually surprised me at how small they look, because I was like, oh, they're a little small, but the standard sizing of 1.5 grams or 0.05 is the same as you would find in a regular small eyeshadow. So think about MAC or Urban Decay, those small single eyeshadows, that's the same size here. So don't be scared when you see the sizing and think that you're not getting a lot of product. You do get the standard size eyeshadow in the packaging. Now the one thing I'll mention is there's a lot of waste in the packaging because these are very delicate eyeshadows, and I'll show you the packing that I got with these. They came within a box with packing peanuts, and then the eyeshadows themselves were wrapped in sets of like 4, and they were individually wrapped in at least 1 layer of bubble wrap. It was a lot. It took me a while to get through everything and get them in my magnetic pans, but the formulations are very fragile, so I understand why they have to package them the way they do to avoid any damage. Of course, you don't want to get broken eyeshadows, and since they take so long to get to you, of course you don't want to wait for a replacement. So It's kind of something that you just have to deal with. Recycle the best that you can, but just be mindful, you're gonna end up with a ton of packing waste just to make sure these come to you securely. Now for the final P's, which are product and performance. Now, there is a learning curve to these, and I found that out when I got my first set of shades. Of course, I was automatically drawn to the jeweled multichromes. Those are the ones that I wanted, but they have a black base with that multichrome shimmer on the top, which actually doesn't apply the same as a regular eyeshadow. And they do include a little pamphlet with application tips in the package that I received, and those tips are also on their website. So if you wanted to get tips on how to apply these, then go to their website definitely. But the major takeaway from this is that you have to be a little bit more deliberate with these eyeshadows. For one, they recommend applying this over an eyeshadow primer, one that is set preferably, and that goes without saying for any eyeshadow for me. And they also recommend using a stiff shader brush rather than a fluffy blending brush. So you wouldn't apply them with a brush such as this. You would go in with a shader brush such as this one from Delium Tools. This is the 773 shading blender brush, or you have the MAC 239. Any stiff shader brushes like these would be ideal. You don't want to go in with a concealer type brush such as these, because these are going to be too smooth and the pigment won't grab onto the bristles of this type of brush. So go with more of a fluffy shader brush, one that's going to definitely have a little texture to grab onto the pigments. Of course, you can also apply them with your fingers, which is actually one of the preferred ways of applying these to ensure that you get an even application, a smooth application, because the warmth of your fingers does help to kind of melt the pigments onto your skin. So if you're not into applying eyeshadows with your fingers like I'm not, then just use a stiffer brush. And you can also use a little bit of setting spray, preferably something that's hydrating such as MAC Fix Plus, rather than like a dry and alcohol based setting spray. Use one that's a little bit more hydrating. A little mist on your brush and you can apply those for, again, a more seamless application. The other thing to note is when you're applying these, you want to use patting or pressing strokes, very short strokes. You don't want to just swipe these across your lid, because you're just going to lose the intensity, you're going to lose the effect of these shadows. So just be mindful of that. Short strokes, pressing motions, patting motions to get the best application and the most beautiful color payoff. Now the other thing is that some of these shades are toppers, so you're gonna get a more sheer finish as you saw in the swatches. So you're gonna put them over another eyeshadow, or you're gonna put them over a cream eyeshadow or a sticky cream base. Also, you might want to go ahead and use a little bit of a glitter glue for the glitter type eyeshadows to get more payoff. But since these aren't plastic glitters, these are mica based glitters, they actually melt into the skin a lot easier and apply a lot better than those plastic type glitters. So these are going to be an easier application than your traditional plastic glitter, but they still need a little bit of help sometimes to just get them to give you the effect that you are looking for. Now most of these formulations are actually multi-purpose, so you can apply these to your eyes, lips, face, and body. Just read through the different formulations and the specific shades that you're going for to see if they're safe or intended for use on the lips, face, or body. Now I tried my best to show you the multi-dimension of these shades on camera, but it is difficult to capture it full on in like its full glory on camera. It's just so difficult if you don't see it in person, because these shift in multiple different lights, like different angles, different if you see it in natural light versus dim light versus like studio lights. It's obviously going to look different, and it will look different based on your skin tone as well and how you apply them. So just keep that in mind, that you can get you can apply the same shadow and get a totally different look than you did before. And I actually think the effect is worth it, and they're very unique, okay? There are not many shades like these on the market. Yeah, you have loose pigments that kind of give you a similar effect, but these are pressed eyeshadows, so they're in eyeshadow pans. They're easier to work with, and I think the little bit of a learning curve that you have to get used to, it's worth it, because they're so unique, they're so different, they're so beautiful. Like you saw them, right? They're so, oh my god, they're so stunning. I absolutely love these. So like I said, just be careful on how you use them. I haven't been disappointed in using them. Like, they're really fun, they're really beautiful. I pair them with mattes, and I don't use more than 2 shades. They don't recommend using more than 2 shades if you want to get the full effect of it, because it's going to give you a multi-chrome anyway. So why apply 5 different shades if you only need 1 or 2 to give you like a beautiful result? You know what I mean? So I do really enjoy these. I think they're fantastic. My favorite formulation happens to be the jeweled multichromes. Like, come on, those are so stunning. I also do like the deep iridescent shades. I think that would be, yeah, that would be kind of my second formulation that I absolutely love. But then again, there are glitter toppers for those of you who love glitters. I'm not like the one that's gonna jump and run for glitter, but there's some serious beautiful glitter ones, and the iridescent ones are also fabulous. I think my least favorite formulation, like the one that I would kind of say stay away from because they're not really that great, would be the glitter type iridescent multichromes. I didn't like how those applied at all. They're very finicky, they're very chunky, they're not smooth, and they take like a lot to smooth out on the skin. So unless you're using your fingers and you're like really pressing it in, they're just not the most impressive. So those ones, I would say stay away from them, because I also wasn't the biggest fan of the hybrid multichromes. Like, those were a little bit more subdued. They are beautiful, so if you're into more of a subtle color and you don't want to just go crazy with the jewel tones, then I can say that those may be up your alley, but they're definitely not my favorite. The glitter multichromes and the series 2 of the iridescent multichromes though, whoo, if you're into glitter and shine, oh my god, those are gorgeous. Like, let me tell you, okay, gorgeous. If you like the Pat McGrath glitter shades, these are so much better. When I say these are so much better, they're more sophisticated, there's more nuances to them, the multichrome effect, stunning. I love those so much. So those are also freaking fantastic. And then the series 1 iridescent multichromes, those are a little bit more subtle. Those are a little bit more like a shimmer eyeshadow, traditional shimmer eyeshadow with a little bit of zest. So those are also great to try out if you're just trying to tip your toe into it. But overall, depending on what you're into, you're gonna of course choose the formulation that is right for you. For me, I want them all. I want them all. I want to collect them like the Pokemon, and I'm waiting for my order, and once that comes through, I will definitely share a second video with you guys where I swatch those as well. I have the vibrant multichromes that I'm waiting on because those look amazing, and I can't wait to get my hands on those. And then I have like a couple of odd shades to fill out certain holes in the collection, but I am so happy with them, guys, except for those glitter type ones. But I am so happy with them, guys. I am so excited, and I couldn't wait to share them with you guys. Oh my god, they're so fantastic. And whoo, I am just gonna play and have fun, so stay tuned. You will see looks coming up. I think I'm just gonna do playtime with them, like makeup and chill, and do a couple of looks with them because I really love them. But I've been into matte looks lately, but you know, it is what it is. I will leave, like I said, timestamps down below. I will leave all the purchasing details down below. I will leave as much information as I can fit in the description box down below. So if you have a question, it's down below. If you don't find it there, feel free to ask me a question. You can also ask questions on the Clionadh Cosmetics website because I am not affiliated with them. I don't work with them, so I don't know the ins and outs and stuff. You can ask over there as well. They're very responsive. They're very sweet, and you know what? They're a great indie brand that I am happy to support. So if you want to check them out, definitely feel free. I will also go ahead and leave links to my Instagram, and Snapchat, so you can check me out because we kind of cool. I'm kind of, you know, if you like this video, if you appreciated my swatches, then definitely give me a thumbs up, a like, a favorite, comment, all that stuff. Show your support that way because I truly appreciate it. And stay safe, guys. I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.